Hey, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Ambush on Air. I'm your host, Sam Bush, and as always, bringing you topical content in the Microsoft channel all about sales, marketing, and partnerships. So today I am joined with one of my besties, Tiff. Tiffany, why don't you go ahead and give us a little intro? Who are you? What do you do? Why are you here?
Sam, I'm here because I adore you, and I'm
Right back.
flattered whenever I get to be on Ambush. Is it Ambush on Air?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, I always want to be in your presence. So the fact that I get to be on here, I'm super excited.
Love you.
Tiffany Allen, I've been in the channel for 20 years, and it's so crazy that I have to say 20 now, Sam. It was 20 in December. And I just absolutely adore this community. They taught me and educated me on
Yeah.
all things Microsoft, all things automation. Thankful to be here.
Yeah.
Um, I worked for a partner for a short stint, but I primarily spent my career working for ISVs in a sales role. And then I transitioned to partnerships about 5 years ago. But I kind of like hanging out with you because at the core, I went to
Hmm.
college for a marketing degree. And when I
Love it.
graduated college, that's what I did. I ran marketing programs for small publishing companies. So I'm
Fun.
really a marketer at heart and excited to be here with you.
I love it. I love it. You and I are working on a very fun thing that is coming to fruition soon that we can't fully talk about, but this concept of being a revenue person and not a salesperson or a marketer or a partnerships person. We're all focused on revenue. So that's where we kind of meet in the middle, and I love it. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining. As always, love to kick it with you, whether it's an espresso martini or a deep chat about partnerships. Yes, she's
I
prepared.
mean, I
She's
don't
already
think
got
this is
hers.
the espresso, but I did bring a
Martini.
tahini for us.
You get it. You
I
get it.
agree. I could not agree more. I always enjoy these conversations, and I'm glad that you brought up the revenue piece and trying to infuse this into the session here because at the end of the day, that's what we're all responsible for at our organization. So we really need
Exactly.
to reframe the conversation, right?
Exactly. So you built a lot of your career, obviously, in the Microsoft space. And then you said 5 years recently in the Microsoft partner sort of role specifically. Talk to me a little bit about how you started in partnerships, going from sales to partnerships. What was that like for you?
It was super exciting. It was a transition I was so ready for.
Hmm.
I'd been on the sales side for years and raising small daughters and just hammering phones and had a quota to meet, and
Yeah.
it's a bit of a grind, right? Any sales job can be that a bit of a grind. And I think what I really started seeing is that what I enjoyed most were my partnership conversations that were part of that sales process, right? We were always inquiring who the partner was, if the lead came to us direct, or most of our referrals absolutely came from the partner relationship. And that's what I really kind of thrive with. I enjoyed those conversations. I enjoyed building out campaigns, even though I was representing kind of more of the back end of it, of, I was the follow up piece of, any leads that we were generating. That was what I really enjoyed. And I expressed that interest to my then boss that I really wanted to move toward partnerships. And he was like, I don't think there could be a better fit. So
Love it.
it was a natural progression, I think, over the years that just, as my career evolved, my knowledge evolved. I had enough knowledge about the product, about our sales organization, I think, to best support them and,
Yeah.
managing the partner relationship.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. It's a natural fit for you. It really is. Watching you do your thing is so fun. So talk to me a little bit about I saw this come across for a conference in January that we're attending. You got a session on the schedule that is like how to become the easiest partner in general. So tell me a little bit about the concept of being the easiest partner. Where did this come from? Where did you spin it?
Conversation that I had with another one of my besties, and this is kind of what we do when we get together, right?
Mhm.
I was saying to Mary Myers from World Max, I was like, I want to pitch a session and I want to do it all around partnerships. And I was thinking of like pulling together a group, and she was like, why are you pulling together a group? Like, your thought process, the way you manage this is what people want to know and learn from. I was like,
Exactly.
everybody has these great ideas. And she's like, I'm not saying they don't, Tiff, but the way you operate and the way you navigate your space, I think is one that people, deserve to hear. And I got off the phone with her, and honestly, I was flattered. I was wildly flattered. And I picked up my dang phone and I opened up Penny and I just word vomited, which I don't really like word vomiting. We'll talk about that a bit today. I
Yeah.
word vomited into my phone everything that I was thinking, like
Hmm.
really what my mantra is. My mantra has always been you absolutely have to be the easiest. You have to eliminate as much friction as possible, unless you want to be just put to the bottom of the to do list,
Yeah.
because that's what's going to happen. These partners are busy. We have to figure out how to
Hmm.
do this easier in a more simplified manner. So that's kind of how the session came about. I just kept putting all my thoughts. I put some of the content in that I use and share through my partnership meetings. And I
Yeah.
think what we put together is a really good, actionable way in which you can kind of evaluate your existing partnerships and how
Hmm.
you can potentially elevate them with really some good action items coming out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. So when you think about partnerships that actually work versus the ones that fade out really quickly, you kind of alluded to it already, but what usually is the difference maker in like a really sturdy partnership versus one that like you might get one lead a year from?
And you know what? And even before they fade out, they may not even start, right? And
That's
that's
true.
that's the bummer there, right? You may not ever get a seat at the table to introduce your product or your solution
Yeah.
because really you've just made it way too complex. The partnerships that truly work, I believe, are easy and they are simplified. They do not have to be perfect by any means. They don't
Yeah.
have to be flashy. I like a little flash, but they truly don't have to be flashy either. They have to engage in an easy to understand format, easy for that partner to be able to take action. So you got to remove all the friction. You have to be able to communicate what your offering is, how you're different, and how they make money in seconds, in three
Yeah.
minutes. You might get a whopping 10 minutes with the partner if you're lucky.
Yep.
If you have 3 slides in your arsenal, your marketing team, Sam, you might give me a fat deck, and my marketing team has given me a fat deck.
No,
What I ultimately present or massage and whittle down has to be in 3 slides.
I love that.
You ensure that it's a really clear message, it's a clear next step to be an obvious win for that partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
So
going to
when
move
you think
on.
about
They're simply just going to move on to somebody else that makes it
exactly.
easier for them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What are a couple of ways that you throughout your career have made it easier? What are like tried and true practices you put in place?
So first and foremost is like you got to know your elevator pitch has to roll off your tongue like nobody's business. You have to be able to deliver it truly in the elevator. You have to be able to deliver it in a crowded restaurant in seconds, not in minutes. You also have to be able to do it without any of your slides, right? So practice it. Practice, practice, practice. It makes, while I say it needs to be easy, this is a complex process.
Yeah.
Understanding the software and what your partner program is and your value proposition. So practice it and refine it and get better at it. So be able to have that conversation and explain exactly what you do in seconds. I also think one thing that truly can separate you very quickly sounds odd. Don't be afraid to talk about your competition. Your competition can be the quickest way where you level set the ball game. Maybe you have no brand awareness, right? You're a new solution to the D365 space. They don't know who the heck you are. Hey, this is my competitor. This is who I compete with head to head. But you know
Exactly.
how I'm better? You know how I'm different? You know how we differentiate ourselves? So you
Yeah.
just heard a competitive conversation into, hey, this is how I'm going to get it done better, faster, less expensively. There's greater margin in it for you. I
Hmm.
can address, multiple add-ons that your clients might be using.
Love
So
it.
really ensure that being easy to work with, don't fight that battle.
Yeah.
Even if your corporate team does not want to talk about competition, you don't have to say who your competitors are always. There's so many different ways to get
Yeah.
around that. But again, what's the last thing you want to happen? You want your partner to get off the call and they're going to go and find and have to start typing who competes with XYZ? No.
Exactly. Exactly. And there's this whole concept of trust transparency that you're talking about. That's like building partnerships is more than just like we have a solution that fits your customers needs. It really, at least in my 10 years in the channel, I have really seen the people who do partnerships well and kind of watched them from the back seat. And a lot of it is like they're a trusted advisor in the solution that they work at. They don't go to just any ISV. They don't go to any VAR and try to bring in ISVs. They know their niche and they know that their product is the best because they know their market. And I think building that trust in relationships is something, as somebody new to channel and new to partnerships, like that's step one.
It truly is. And I think to build that credibility, it really is creating that framework that's so easy for them to understand. I love how you just said, know exactly where you're best suited. One thing that I can't stand is the word vomit. And it's so funny. I did a session with Carol Livingston, and she was like, one of her biggest pet peeves is getting on with an ISV, and they go, we support all verticals. We support all ERP.
Oh my gosh, master of none.
Like literally, it sends hairs, up on the back of her neck.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that, because at the end of the day, maybe you are all that in a bag of chips, and good for you that you are integrated to 82 ERPs. But do you really think the partner wants to hear about the 81 others? No, they want to know how your solution fits the needs of their customer. And damn well, you better not talk about the 81 other solutions you integrate with when you get on the line with their customers.
Exactly.
They are bringing you in as that trusted advisor.
Yeah.
Same goes even for verticals, right? Like you can say like, well, hey, I have an AP solution. Everybody has AP, so there's no verticals. Okay, fine, that you can integrate with any of them. What do you do really well, though? What verticals perform the best? Where do you win the most?
Where are your happiest customers? What verticals are they in?
So you don't have to be everything to everyone. The partner does not want you to be everything to everyone. They want you to help them clearly define when I tap you versus when I tap them. And that is where you are going to build credibility and trust with the partner. 100%.
Yeah, I love that. I have struggled in my career on and off because I am that like very transparent marketer, and it's a lot easier to talk partnership level on, this, we're different from this competitor, here's how to use this, here's when to use those, than it is to do that on the prospect side. Like putting on your website, like, we're different than this competitor and here's why. Like a sales team would rather die than you put that out. But when it comes to partnerships, you're behind a wall, really, of the conversation between partner and partner, having this discussion and being that transparent. And I think that's where it really should live so openly.
I love that you said that, Sam. I did have a partner ask me, like, they're like, hey, Tiff, can you give me some, like, we put competitive on some editorial materials that we distribute, but those are for internal use. We don't want those being published, as you said. External facing. And I added some stuff to my partnership guide, because he's like, can you just tell me? Like, I know, but basically he was wanting like, hey,
validation.
I need to follow up with this guy. Give me the talking points back. Put that in writing for them.
Exactly.
Because what I want to do is create, I love it. I've gotten some chuckles out of this online. I want to create intern-proof. You should be creating intern-proof content for your partners. So if they are asking for competitive messaging, you can give it to them without speaking to the competitor. We all know how to do that. Absolutely. So don't shy away from it. Call out who the competitor is so you even the playing field with your partner. They know who to compare you to. They know who, I should be thinking of them for this versus that. But if they need that language to be able to, hey guys, I was looking at this product. What do you think? Give it to them. Don't make them rethink that. Don't make them go and do that work on their own. You know your product better than they do. And honestly, if they have to do that on their own, again, where is it on the to-do list? Probably on the bottom. And where are your chances of generating a lead?
Exactly. So when you onboard a new partner, what's your process like with them?
So I will say what I want it to be is never what it will be.
Right. They're all different, at least in my experience, because people are different. You're working with totally different people types in every partner for every role that you're talking to. So in my experience, the partner manager, partner marketer, partner manager, partner marketer in the room together, all four of us, one from each company, that conversation can vary just based on relationships that already exist, processes that they like already. So they're like, this is how I like enablement, so do it my way. But tell me a little bit about, what you guys do or what your ideal looks like.
Ideal would be is absolutely to establish your cadence, do a kickoff call that highlights what that cadence will be, do a training, do a live training. I know there are so many partners out there that are like, Tiff, save your recording. I'm going to put it on our internal share
No,
drive.
nobody watches
And,
that.
can you fill out this matrix? I will do all of that. But don't stop there, guys. You need to ask for more, right? Because I will tell you, the most successful relationships, those easy relationships, the tried and true, what comes to fruition from there is consistency. How often you are connecting with them. Those connections need to happen not just quarterly, right? Your most successful partnerships, you should be messaging absolutely once a week. You should
Yeah.
be giving them a summary. This is where the leads are this week. This is the status of where all
Yes.
these leads are. This is where existing customers are. This is going great. This is not going great. We have this on the schedule for us. We've got our monthly business review on this day. We have a partners only webinar on this day. If you message your partners weekly, those
I
tier
love that.
one accounts weekly, you're going to tone down on the follow up messages you get going into the following week. So if it
Exactly.
seems like a big ask, it's really not going to be a big ask
I
because the
love that.
amount of time you're going to save in the communication post that weekly summary is
Yeah.
invaluable. But what you're doing is you're building trust and you're
Uh-huh.
adding another connection point with them. So monthly business review, depending on the tier of them, you
Monthly. I
may
love
do
that.
quarterly business review. You absolutely need live training and keep asking for live training. Give them what they want because you got to play in their sandbox, right? But the live trainings, I find that is the greatest level of engagement we get for lead generation. That's when you get more of your salespeople, more of your implementation teams on the call and keep asking for more to join, right? We can start with sales, but then we need account managers. We want implementation people on the line
Yes.
because you never know where this
Yeah.
need is going to be identified where your
Mm-hmm.
product might be the right fit. And that's
Yeah.
where the leads come from. You're going to say something at that call that rings a bell and triggers them. This would be great for XYZ client. So
Mm-hmm.
keep pushing for those live trainings. I try not to put hard and fast rules in our contracts. I want to be the easiest partner to work with, right?
I love that.
I do put at least one partner training per year, but dang it, guys, if you're only doing one, that is a disservice to you and the
They're
relationship.
forgetting about you left and right.
Yes.
And one thing that I've been I've worked with a couple of partners on a consulting front and trying to explain to them, like, when an ISV is like, we want to do a training and you just drop the sales team in there, that's actually probably, in my opinion, the wrong place to start. I understand why you assume it's the right place to start because a new customer comes in. But at the end of the day, your consultants are the ones who have those deep level conversations with the user of the software who has the problem, not the account executive who's selling the deal. It's the dude who's in there saying, here's how we're going to build your solution and your process. So I'm like, that's who I want on my training. Not even a sales training. I want like a consultant training that's like,
Exactly.
here's how our software works within Business Central or finance and operations. And here's how you can talk about it when you get to these phases. And if you don't have someone in your business that can demo to that level, think about that as well. That's all I'm saying.
I love that. And I also think drop the word sales training. You want training. You always want to be amping this up to get the most number of people across the
Exactly.
organization. One thing, hang on, Archie wants to be part of the conversation.
Yes, perfect. He was just sitting like on your shoulder back on the couch. Hello, my boy.
Archie.
What a
Archie
cutie.
listens to lots of partner calls. I wish he
Archie
could
is
weigh
a
in,
partner
buddy.
manager.
Yeah, he should be. I should give him a new title for sure.
Yeah, a new little name tag.
He is the best office mate there is, though, except for this moment when he was scratching my leg. Normally, he sleeps while I talk. When I eat, when I go to the ladies' room, he goes outside.
I get it. He's a good companion.
He's kind of good. Kind of good.
Ziggy is too. She's sleeping in her bed right across in her room. Right there.
I love it. Most people aren't going to love that I let him kiss my face, but I do.
Who cares?
Get over it.
It's our dogs.
It is. I did lose my train of thought on this, though, because I was
No,
thinking,
we were talking about how I think you shouldn't do a sales training. I mean, sales training is great, but I like a consultant training.
yes. So one thing that I put in this session is those touch points. And within those touch points, You you got to talk about where people are making money. You got to
Yes.
show the revenue. You
Yes.
got to show the revenue, absolutely, and you got to show the margin. You also have to do it by rep. Sam, this is a quick and easy
Yes.
way of like, dude, we only have your sales org referring deals. Why don't we have anybody from your account, from the AE team, from your
Exactly.
like that are managing your customers? So quickly will lights go off
Yeah.
for all of a sudden you're in this and they're like, wait a minute, we still haven't done that. Yes, I've been asking you to invite all of them. Can we really? Because we're
Yeah.
getting business out of these guys only. Can we also
Exactly.
expand it here? And when you
I
show
love
it in
that.
terms of the revenue that's being generated, the partner marketing revenue share that you're giving back to them at a rep level, they quickly go, wait a minute, I'm going to let you tap
Exactly.
into
Let's do
that.
some more.
And that's where you will get the live training. That's where they do see the value of going beyond the recorded session and hi, we've got a
Yeah.
comparison guide of you. You filled out a form, your ISV showcase form in our
Yeah.
share drive. That's what will move the needle of you getting more airtime with more people across the organization.
I love that.
Drill down into the rep.
I love that. Okay, two questions. One, what CRM do you use to pull all your data? Where do you guys hang?
Salesforce, and we are implementing what is
Something
it?
else.
No, I love it. We're finally implementing Crossbeam like this quarter.
What a win. Oh my gosh, it's the hardest thing to get approved from a compliance standpoint for whatever reason. But once you do, 10 out of 10. We
Sam, I
used,
cannot
I
tell you
forget.
the number of partners that have asked me about it. Our ability, I really think it's going to be a game changer for us on the partner side as to how we can better work with our marketing team and the
Exactly.
marketing team, the sales or of our partners to be able to say, hey, this is where we overlap. This is a perfect target. Let's go. Let's segment this. So we're stop blasting out to everyone, right?
Yep.
I'm super excited about Crossbeam. Our sales
Yeah.
force, I recently transitioned from our domestic side to the cross border side. And I've sold automation software my whole life. So I'm pretty
Exactly.
passionate about using it in my personal world. So I'm in the midst of some changes. So it's funny when I say be the easiest partner to work with, right? Like there's some things that I can't be easy on right now. Like, God dang it. But
I
don't
know.
think that I'm not meeting with legal. I'm not meeting with product. And I'm
Yep.
meeting with marketing. Like delivering easy can be rather complex and it can be very tiresome internally for you, but it's worth the battle.
Yeah.
It's absolutely worth the project, the fight that you might have to go through, the upper level executive team
Exactly.
buy-in that you need. It really does make a difference. There is some automation that we're maybe missing on the Salesforce side of it. I think we're going
Sure.
to be able to leverage Crossbeam to bridge that gap, and
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
It's exciting. It's exciting. I know the Reveal guys. They sold to Crossbeam a couple years ago, and I used Reveal before, and then met the founders at some event in a previous job. And I think the software is 10 out of 10 for all of the conversations you have about like we want to do a joint customer story with our new partner, but then it's like we don't want to share all their names and all their stuff with you because we legally can't. Crossbeam can connect all of those dots for you and pull out the ones that are both on each side without
Absolutely.
having to breach any of that compliance issue. So I love it.
Find amazing targets to go after,
Exactly.
all that segmentation that we're able to do in terms of like, hey, the ICP, you need to know your ICP.
No
We
kidding.
don't handle every vertical. We can take any size customer. No, no,
Yeah.
sure you
Focus.
can. But what do you do really, really well?
Yeah.
Emerging mid-market, enterprise, SMB, like get into it.
Exactly. Go deeper than just the top level. We do everything.
Yeah, you got to narrow the field for these guys 100%.
Okay. So earlier you mentioned you do a weekly recap to your top tier partners. Do you leverage AI at all for that?
Are you
Okay.
crazy?
Tell me about it.
I mean, so first of all, it's a project. And
Hmm.
I use it through projects. So in every one of my tier one partners, I have it as my weekly summary. And
Okay.
I also record all my calls throughout the week. And then at the end of the week, I just put it in and it tells me like kind of what my to dos are, all that kind of good stuff.
What tool
And
do you use?
which tool do I use?
Hmm.
Am I going to get in trouble?
Mm-mm.
I just use Chat GPT and I love
Don't
it.
we all? Okay,
Yeah.
same.
So most of the heavy lifting is truly done by Chat GPT, and then I definitely put some personal things in there. So at the beginning
Yeah,
of the day,
yeah,
on Friday when I do those, I'll be like, we need to generate all of our weekly summaries for the top tiers. Make sure we include that we've got a webinar with Avalara at
there
the
you
end of the
go.
month.
Yep,
Register for that. We're going to have a partners only webinar in March, and a registration link will be coming on that. Some of the general things, and then I will tell you, it might take me 5 minutes to customize 2 or 3 of them, but most of it just gets ripped out. That content gets ripped out immediately for me. It's
yeah,
fantastic.
it's so
I
nice.
do I do include people from sales that are actively on, a
Deal.
prospecting deal. I will include people from implementation, just
Great.
depending on where we are in the process, just to make sure that that partner sees that, like, hey, I'm tracking to this, but also so is our sales team, so is our implementation team, and the instances that it's relevant. So that I think that's something new for me that I just put into place literally in December.
Love it.
And I'm super excited to see how well it's been working. It's
Yeah,
been met with some very positive feedback. So I
good.
love that. I would like to
Yeah,
expand it out a little bit more. But right now I've got to kind of pressure test it amongst all the other priorities. All your tier one accounts, absolutely a weekly summary. But no doubt, you don't do a QBR with them. You are doing a monthly business review. And what are you starting with? You're
yeah.
talking about pipeline, which equals revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Revenue. You start talking about revenue.
Money.
Because if we put it in that context, that's what everybody is being asked to prioritize. Where's the revenue
Exactly.
coming from this quarter? Where's the revenue coming from?
I love it.
Prioritize it frame it just that way for your partner.
I love that. I love that.
Kind of fun.
Okay. If someone is listening right now and they're like, I don't know if we're an easy partner or if we're a hard partner, what are some questions they should ask themselves? Or like how do you evaluate if you're easy to work with? Is it just people tell you? Or just nobody sends you leads?
Okay, that's probably your biggest indicator. If you are not getting partner leads, okay, you really need to
Let's pay
rethink
attention.
this
Yeah.
model. But I will say, I think a lot of people just continue, like, in our space, in terms of our product,
Hmm.
status quo is one of the biggest, reasons we see no decision. A company just decides not to do anything. They don't
We're
buy
just going
any
to keep with
software.
our regular basics.
Yes. So I really hope fellow ISVs do not fall into that category, because you do sessions on this kind of stuff all the time, Sam. Our buyers are changing. The
Yeah.
way that we are all, absorbing content and information and educating ourselves are changing. And we need to be doing the same thing in terms of how we're communicating our value, our
Yeah.
product in this space. This community is spot on. We're dealing with intelligent peeps here.
We really are.
But I would say pressure test yourself with this. Could an intern do it? Could an intern take the content that came from the ISV and follow up with accounts? They could do an outbound dial campaign like an SDR or any
Hmm.
development associate. Could you literally give that to them and they would be like, cool,
I know what I'm
I can
doing.
run with
Yeah.
that.
This is going to
I'm going to
work.
send out an email. I'm going to make a phone call. Is your content, is your messaging intern-proof? I think the other biggest one, you can ask your partner this question, and you should be asking your partner this question. Honestly, your monthly business review, your weekly summary, what can I do for you? Is there anything you need from me? Start your conversations that way, especially your monthly business review and your QBR. We're coming in with an agenda, right? I've
100%.
been tracking and I've got my numbers and I'm ready to go.
Hmm.
I have an agenda. No, let your partner dictate and override that entire agenda. They might be coming in with like, Tiff, your end user contract is killing me with this prospect. And that's all they've been thinking about. They're going to talk to you. Oh, I'll just wait. I got a meeting on the calendar with Tiff at the end of the week. I'll just wait. No,
No, I want to know now.
take over that conversation. What can I help you with?
Hmm. Yeah.
So, but one of the other questions that you can also ask these guys is, are you able to use my content without edit? Like, hey, I sent you our
Yeah.
updated partner guide. Is anybody using it?
Yeah.
Is there anything that's confusing? Like, we spend time on it. We think it's good. And I think some people don't want to like write back and be like, Tiff, Like,
This
I'm never
sucks.
going to send that line out. And they, like, I might have flipped it.
Exactly.
So ask.
Yeah, I love that.
And
I think oftentimes we are so busy that we just pass it over the fence and we're like, that'll work. It works every time. But what we forget is every single person is different. So just because it worked for one partner and I passed it over the fence to another doesn't mean it's the same.
So true. And honestly, in the latest version of our partner guide, one of the things I said is, I was like, I need more versions, guys. I need more, like, this is the intro email. I need more elevator pitches. I need bulleted. I need a paragraph
Yep.
form. I need like 12
Variety.
email blurbs. I need them to be industry. I need them to be this, because you're exactly right. Every seller is a little different. Implementation person is different than an AE versus a salesperson. So make sure we give it to them in a multitude of formats to where somebody's going to find something that's a natural fit for the way they interact with the customer.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Any final thoughts, parting words for being the easiest partner? Any advice you want to bestow?
Absolutely. If there's anything that you take from this, if you want to be the easiest partner to work with, realize you might get 3 minutes of their time. Differentiate yourself and tell them how they're going to make money. It is about revenue generation, you guys.
Yep.
It
Yep.
truly is. If they don't understand how quick and easy they can make money with you, they quite often are just going to fall back into using something they're used to.
Exactly.
How are you
Exactly.
different? How the hell am I going to make money with you?
I love it. I love it. Let's see how this all goes with people tuning in and listening, testing these theories out. I'm hope that people will come to you in the coming events and be like, that was a really helpful tip. I tried it. It worked. One thing that I took away was a weekly recap. I'm like, I don't think I've ever done weekly in really any of my like even partner marketing
You're the shit, honey,
interactions.
Sam, but I
Yeah.
mean, I'm a weekend or I'm a month in. I'm 6 weeks in.
Yeah.
I'm loving the result. Absolutely.
I'm so excited.
I'm
Good work.
also thinking, I appreciate you for wanting to chat about the session here, because you really forced me to kind of pressure test what I'm delivering in a few weeks.
I'm glad.
Should I give a little guide? Like, should I give a sample differentiation slide? Should I give a sample, this is where you make your money slide?
Yeah. Okay. So I just announced yesterday on LinkedIn that for Partner in Vibe, which when this goes out, people will already have been to the event, but I am doing something I've only done one other time, which is give away my template. I did this at a partner marketing day a year ago, where I gave everybody my event marketing template that talks about event logistics, emails, campaigns, like when to do what, all of this stuff. It has a counter on it and everything. But this one I am bringing, it is a 3-page, like 30-day pilot guide for what I'm training on. And normally I'm like, it's going to be on my website for $25 for people to download. And I'm giving it to everybody that comes to this for free. And then the first 15 people who message me on LinkedIn, which I think I already have given away 6. So there's still some more. But I think it's a nice way to give back. And this event is a new event and it's a little smaller. So I feel like if you are really like invested in the community becoming just as great of a partner leader as you are, I think it's a great time to do it, because it's not a big risk because the volume's not that high. Just saying. Because you're not giving it to the masses, you're giving it to a unique group of people who also are interested in the same things.
Well, since you forced me to make sure I was presentation ready for this call today, I think I have it in me. I think that would be a great takeaway for these guys. I'm going to add the template that I use.
Oh my gosh, I love it. What a fun little
Shocker.
Shocker, right back at you. Well, thank you so much for joining. As always, fun chit-chatting with you about serious things and fun things. And I will see you soon. Love you dearly. And everybody for listening, thank you so much. As always, party on.
Party on. We will be partying on with martinis in South Padre Island very soon.
So many martinis. Bye-bye.